TYT Sports with 4 Big Ten teams still remaining in the NCAA tournament. We bring in Dave Revsine of the Big Ten Network. Dave, how are you today?
I'm good. What's going on, Rick?
Oh, not much. Tell me a little bit about Syracuse, Wisconsin to start off. Syracuse averaging about 9 steals a game, which is somewhat uncommon in a 2-3 zone. How does Wisconsin go about attacking that, and can they just solely rely on their three-point shot to advance to the Elite Eight?
Yeah, Wisconsin's been kind of an up-and-down team with the three-pointer this year. You know, when they have not hit it, those are the games that they have lost. So that is going to be a big part of it for them. You know, where Syracuse really thrives with the steals isn't so much in necessarily negating the opponent, although that's obviously part of what a steal does for you. It's the other half that's really huge for them. You know, they are able to convert in transition, and that's how they get a lot of their points. And Wisconsin just doesn't turn it over much, as you know, the second lowest turnover team in the country behind only Purdue. So it's a tough, you know, if there's a matchup that doesn't work great for Syracuse, Wisconsin would be that kind of team. Because I do think, you know, first of all, they don't turn it over a ton. And second of all, if, you know, the other way, obviously, to get transition baskets is off, you know, missed shots. And Wisconsin does a great job of dropping back and packing in the defense and making sure that their opponents don't get a lot of transition points, even if it's sometimes at the expense to a certain extent of offensive rebounding. So I think Wisconsin's a good matchup for Syracuse. I mean, in other words, that's a favorable opponent for Wisconsin to have. You know, I still have seen Wisconsin go cold enough times this year where they have these long stretches where they don't score that, you know, I certainly didn't pick them. I didn't pick them to go this far. I thought they'd lose to Vanderbilt. So, you know, I'm not necessarily saying I think Wisconsin's going to get through, but I think if there is a good matchup for them, a 1 seed that is a good matchup, I think Syracuse would be that team.
You had talked about offensive rebounding with Syracuse. They gave up 25 on the offensive glass against Kansas State. 20 second chance points to Kansas State in their third round victory. So it's not like there are not holes in this defense. There certainly are. You know, obviously the simple scouting is, you know, the 3-point shots will be there. You flash your big to the middle. How important is it for Jason Bergeron and Rob Wilson to have a big game against the Orange?
Yeah, I do think, you know, less so Wilson. I mean, you know, Wilson's a guy who at times has given them, you know, big point production from the guard spot this year, but, you know, it's not a huge part of what they do. But Jared Bergeron definitely. I mean, you know, Bergeron is what makes the Wisconsin bigs so good is that they can stretch the defense. Bergeron is a really good 3-point shooter. Bruzewicz at times has been this year as well. And Ryan Evans, who isn't necessarily a big, kind of more of a swing man, but he really has been playing well and finding spots for that kind of in-between game. You bring up an interesting point in that, you know, Syracuse is a poor defensive rebounding team. I mean, you know, it's hard to rebound out of a zone, as you know, and they give up more offensive rebounds they did this year than any team in the Big East. So that's kind of your dilemma to a certain extent, I think, if you're Bo Ryan. On one hand, that's an area of vulnerability for them is, okay, you go after the offensive glass and you see if you can clean up a little bit. On the flip side, you know, as I said, they want to run the ball in transition off your misses. And so if you go hard off the offensive glass, you may leave yourself vulnerable on the back end. So I think that is kind of an interesting dilemma.
You could say that with Fab Melo being out, obviously it is a huge impact on the Syracuse defense, especially their rebounding game. At the end of the day, do you see Wisconsin pulling the upset on Syracuse?
Well, I mean, if you were just kind of saying straight up, you know, who do you think wins the game? I mean, I guess I would have to say I think Syracuse probably wins. But can Wisconsin beat them? Yeah, absolutely they can beat them. And Wisconsin can beat anybody in the country. You know, that's what makes this team so intriguing because the way they play so smart. They're so fundamentally sound. And, you know, I think the one thing they don't get credit for, they have some pretty good players. You know, like Jordan Taylor was a first-team preseason All-American, one of 5 players in the nation who can make that claim. Has he necessarily been that good this year? No. But he's certainly come on on here late and hit some big shots for them. Again, I mentioned Evans. He's a very solid guy who's maybe one of the most improved players in our league. Bergeron's a good big. Brusewitz, Josh Gosser gives them a lot of stuff. Ben Brust is a really good shooter. So this is not, I think sometimes they're unfairly characterized as just being a team of robots who, Bo Ryan plugs them in and they just kind of do their thing. I think they're better than that, and that's why I think they absolutely can beat Syracuse. But, if you were saying, are they going to? I don't know. Look, my bracket's as big a mess as anyone else's, so who knows?